Hi everyone, welcome back to another employment video, and it is my turn to talk about how I got to LYPP. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think anyone grows up wanting to be a youth worker. It's just not really a job that comes to the mind of a kid. So I grew up wanting to be a vet because I liked animals and I thought it would be nice to be able to feed animals and make them feel better. That idea went quickly out the window when I realised it also involved cutting open animals and things like that. The next job that I remember wanting was kind of in fourth, fifth year of high school. I wanted to be a speech therapist. I don't know why. Just thought it sounded like a really good job, and I liked the idea of helping people. So yeah, that was my plan, was to go into speech therapy. I didn't end up getting the grades in fifth year that you needed for speech therapy. And I kind of went off the idea. I don't know if I went off the idea because I didn't get the grades or if that just happened to happen as well. But yeah, I decided that speech therapy wasn't for me. So I did well in school. I feel like sometimes school can make you feel like if you're not getting straight A's, you're not doing well. So when I was at school, I didn't think I was that smart. I didn't think I was doing that well in school. And it was only when I kind of went to uni and heard what grades other people had got and saw that 5 A's was not the only way you could be smart, and that, you know, getting hires at all was really good. And um, yeah, I realised that actually maybe I was quite smart and I had done well in my exams, which was a really nice realisation to come to, that yeah, I'd done well in my exams. So I ended up deciding to apply. It was quite last minute decision. I really didn't know what to apply for. But I ended up applying to do psychology. I'd done higher psychology in my fifth year, and I really enjoyed it. The teacher was a bit terrible, but the class was great, and I enjoyed the actual subject of psychology. So I decided to apply for psychology, and then slightly on a whim, I also applied for one course which was called forensic psychobiology. And that is the course I ended up doing at uni. So I went to Abertay University, which is in Dundee, and I did a course called forensic psychobiology. And throughout my whole time there, whenever someone used to ask me, what is that? I never really knew what to answer because I didn't really know. But basically, looking back, what it was a psychology course with extra focus on the forensic side of things and the biology side of things. So, like criminal psychology and like what's going on behind the minds of criminals. Um, so I really enjoyed that course. I didn't massively enjoy the like um, the like neuroscience side of it, the like really biology, the science heavy stuff. I really loved the psychology part of it. So while I was doing that course, my plan was to join the police. That was a really common route that people took after the course. So I thought that would be me as well, would be to join the police and kind of use my psychology skills and my forensic psychology skills in the police. Obviously, that hasn't happened. When I was in my last year of uni, I started volunteering at an organisation called Victim Support, which is a organisation that supports victims of crime. So part of the work was phoning up people who'd been victims of crime and offering them support over the phone or in person. And then the other part was working in the court in Dundee, and supporting people who were having to give evidence at trials. I absolutely loved volunteering there. Volunteering at victim support and the witness service particularly was my favourite thing I did at university, and it really changed my mind about what kind of job I wanted to do. I no longer wanted to work in the police. I wanted to work more supporting people who had had hard times or were going through things, or even just people who needed a little bit of extra support. So once I moved home from uni, I started kind of trying to find jobs. I spent hours and hours and hours applying for jobs. Me and my friend used to sit in a cafe in the Lithgow and apply for jobs together. I applied for hundreds of jobs over that time. and you barely heard back from any of them. It was a really demoralising time, and it really impacted my self-confidence because you're having to say why you'd be so great at this job and then you heard nothing back over and over and over again. I was also working, so I worked at a massive English tutoring organisation, which I'd also done when I was in high school. I also started doing some youth work at the church that I went to, so they paid me to do a little bit of youth work, which was amazing. I didn't think I was very good at it. I certainly didn't plan on becoming a youth worker, but it was like a fun job at the time to do a bit of youth work. So yeah, I kind of kept applying for jobs, kept doing youth work, ended up starting to do some volunteering work with LYPP that became sessional paid work with LYPP, and I was also working at the church, so I was doing youth work in both those places. So yeah, I did that for a while. I got a more like part-time position at the church, so I was doing a certain amount of hours at the church and then sessional work LYPP. Then I got a part-time job at LYPP, so I was working between both. So I was a part-time youth worker at the church and a part-time youth worker at LYPP. And then when I finished my job at the church, LYPP gave me some more hours, and that kind of brings me to like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, 2 years ago, when I now work not quite full time, but most of my time at LYPP as the youth support worker. And then so kind of at the time that I was working at the church and at LYPP, I also decided to go into doing a master's. So for those of you who don't know, the first course that you do at uni is like an undergrad, so it's a bachelor degree, and then the step up from that is master's, and then the step up from that, which I hope to goodness I never do, is a PhD, which is what makes you like a doctor. I don't ever want to do that. Master's is hard enough work. So yeah, I decided to pursue a master's in counselling because that was something that I'd become really interested in, and I thought it would be a good like addition to the work that I do in mental health would be to also to be a counsellor. So for the past 2.5 years, I have been working part-time towards a master's in counselling, and I am nearly finished that. I will be graduating this November with a master's in counselling, hopefully if I pass my exams. So yeah, that's kind of how my job has changed from just being a like sessional youth worker to becoming kind of mental health youth support counselling youth worker. And I think like my friend literally finds it hilarious I'm a youth worker because she remembers me saying I'll never be a youth worker. So she still laughs at me at the fact that I've turned out as a youth worker. I find it hilarious. My plan was never to be a youth worker. I didn't want to be a youth worker, and I love my job. So it just shows like you never know where you're going to end up. If you'd asked me at 5, I would have been a vet. If you'd asked me at 16, I would have been a speech therapist. If you'd asked me at 18, I'd have been in the police. If you'd asked me at 21, I would have probably said that I'm going to be working with adults in kind of a support role, maybe like victim support or something like that. And if you ask me now where I'm going to be in 5 years, I really don't know. I love youth work. I love particularly the mental health stuff, and I like doing the counselling stuff. But I don't think it's possible for me to know where I'm going to be in 5 years. It used to be that people would go into a job and they would be in that job for their whole lives, and that's just not how the world works anymore. We change, we shift. I don't know many people who've been in the same job all their life. So yeah, I would say like don't worry too much about committing to what you want to do now, because it might be what you want to be now, but in 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, it might be completely different, and that's totally fine. Also, like, you don't have to go to uni. I went to uni with really no thought put into it about whether it was the right choice for me. It was just like that was the done thing, that as someone who had got relatively decent grades at school, I would go to university. But that's not a necessary route for everyone. So yeah, I would really encourage you to like stop and think about what actually is going to be the best choice for you. And university is not the best choice for some people. Going straight into work is not the best choice for some people. A gap year is not the best choice for some people. But you find the best choices for you. And you know what? If you don't make the best choice for you, you can fix that later on as well. I don't know if going straight to university was the best choice for me, but I've done it. I did it. I came out of university, and I have eventually found a job that I loved. It's been a long process, but that's okay. And obviously, no offence to Elaine, Graham, and Russell, but I'm younger than all of them. So who knows what I'll be saying, what I'll be thinking, what I'll be doing by the time I come to their age. Who knows? It's a mystery. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, if you have any questions about anything that we've said in any of our videos, you can give us a message on Instagram or Facebook, or comment down below on this video, and we'll see you in another video soon. Bye!